I'm Tyler Bronski. I'm with Rico Noel of the Lancaster Barnstormers, former Major League player for the New York Yankees. Now, Rico, you're a guy that's known for his speed. You stole 90 bases in A-ball back in 2012 for the Padres. When it comes to running on the base paths, I've heard a lot of players say they focus on reading the pitcher and the pitcher's movements. So does that apply to you as well? And just what are some of your strategies and techniques out on the base paths that make you so effective?
Yeah, definitely. You have to figure out what the pitcher is doing and what his tendencies are. Obviously, when you get a elite base stealer on the bases, they're gonna change it up a little bit. But at the same time, they still got to execute pitches. Sometimes they fall back into their normal thing, so they could execute a pitch. And sometimes you just have to take advantage of that.
Most definitely. Now, in 2015, you made your Major League debut for the New York Yankees in Boston. If you're gonna play for the Yankees, playing the Red Sox is the most ideal team to play against. So, how surreal was that first day for you in the big leagues, just wearing the Yankees colors in enemy territory in Boston?
Oh yeah, man, it was great. I had a great time over there with the Yankees. They treated me great. Class A organization, obviously, as everybody should know by now. And it was great being a part of that. And I was honored to put on a Yankees jersey and put on the pinstripes with all the history behind that. Being in Fenway for my first game was pretty legit. Getting to feel that atmosphere was different. Everybody doesn't have a first experience like that in the big leagues and a rivalry like that. So I was fortunate enough to play there, and I feel very blessed to have been a part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you made your major league debut on September 2nd, but you didn't get your first plate appearance until October 3rd, almost a month later, which you did get a hit against Baltimore. But how did you still stay ready and just not lose your rhythm after a long layoff like that?
Well, I mean, I hit BP every day, and I worked on my swing as well, but I wasn't there to hit. They had their guys, and I was there to do one job and one job only. So I accepted that role, and I knew that role would be a big part in us winning because, it was a late in the game opportunity, down one, tie ball game, and I didn't have those opportunities a lot where I came up where it was like game on the line, but at the same time there were a couple, and it was great because my role was small, but my role was important, and so I took a great deal of pride and went about it as a professional and tried to master that, even though that's something that most people will never even hear about. The pinch runner that's called up to just do that. But it is an important role, and there's as you saw, the Kansas City Royals tore the playoffs apart a few years back. And they made it a big deal, and it was great to go out there and do that for the Yankees, New York Yankees, with those pinstripes.
Yeah, for sure. You were teammates with Alex Rodriguez a little bit. You see him now; he's on Fox Sports, giving tips and advice all the time. What were some of your conversations with Alex, and just some of the lessons you picked up from him?
Oh yeah, I mean, it was great being around him and great other guys like that. Me and Alex have talked about a few things about just hitting his approach. I've tried to pick his brain as much as possible without bothering him as much as possible. But he's a great guy. He's willing to help as long as you ask. And it was great to be a part of that and be around that caliber of guys. There's a few other guys that helped me out a lot with just me being able to ask him anything and them being cool about it and helping out. So it was great, man. It definitely helped my career, and I took a lot of things away from that. And to get where I'm at, and especially how I feel at the plate right now, I took a few of those things into consideration and worked on them, and I'm in a great spot right now.
Absolutely. Now, you're one of 18 guys that year to get called up by the Yankees. What was that like to have all the young guys up in the Major League squad and just see some of the guys you play with in the minor leagues realize their dream that season as well?
Oh, that's great, man. And I was only with the Yankees for a couple months before that, but those guys that came up together and played together, and that's special. And that's why those guys are up there winning right now, because they've grew up together pretty much, as so to speak, and it's helpful, to get up there and be comfortable. A lot of young guys go up there by themselves and feel like they're the only person in the locker room. I've heard plenty of stories like that. So to go out with a great group of guys that are on your level, that are experiencing it with you, can help y'all are helping each other out. As y'all go along with the start of that big league journey, man, that's a huge blessing, because not everybody gets to do that for their first call up or their first couple years. A lot of times they're the only one that's been called up in a while. So yeah, man, I think that has a lot to do with their success right now, and it's working out.
Yeah. Now the Yankees put you on the 25-man roster for the wild card game against the Astros, mainly for your speed. So what did that mean to you when the Yankees decided to put you on the roster, and just that they valued your speed? And what do you remember most about that game?
Well, I never got into that game, but I mean, it was great. That was obviously the biggest atmosphere at Yankee Stadium I had been a part of. It was different. Sure. And you know, we faced Keuchel that game, and he had a great game. But at the same time, being a part of that playoff atmosphere in the big leagues, you know, in my first time up in the big leagues was also special, and I was fortunate enough to get that opportunity. Now I feel like I have that under my belt, and you know, not like I said, I didn't get in a game or anything, but just to feel that atmosphere, it gives me a step ahead. So it definitely helped out the Yankees, you know, having that confidence in me to go out there and be willing to put me in a game in a clutch ball game. If you know, if we had advanced, showed a lot, and I knew I prepared a lot for that small role, which could also be a huge role in the playoffs. And so for them to have that confidence in me was definitely a blessing.
Absolutely. Now, last year you signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers. You spent most of the season there at AAA, but you unfortunately didn't get a call up to the major leagues with LA last year. When you signed with the Dodgers, were you expecting to have a similar role with that team? Maybe start the year at AAA, but then get called up to the major leagues. Kind of a similar role with the Yankees.
Yeah, definitely. That's something that I want to have every, you know, at the worst every September. Hopefully, you know, that what I did that year is valued to a certain extent where they know that I could help a Major League Baseball club. So, you know, being with the Dodgers last year, you know, when I first got signed, you know, they came out with things that said, you know, they're looking for the speed secret in Noel, and you know, I was willing to accept that role, but you know, a lot of things didn't work out, and they had decisions to make, and unfortunately, I wasn't one of those decisions. But that's how it goes, you know. That's business. They're making the decisions to make them win and what they think is beneficial to them, and you got to respect that, you know. So they went a long ways, and I was definitely obviously rooting for those guys, man. It was great to see them, but yeah, man, it didn't work out, but I'm ready for it in the future, and I'm looking forward to it.
Sure. Now, Rico, you've been an outfielder most of your professional career. I know you played a little middle infield in college, but I know you're playing shortstop for the Barnstormers now. I just wondering why you felt to make the need to convert from being an outfielder to shortstop, and just what that transition's been like for you.
Yeah, I played shortstop and second here, mostly second. But yeah, just being a utility guy, man. I just wanted to increase my value. I grew up a middle infielder. Went to college as a middle infielder. Played second base my freshman year in college, and then I never played the outfield actually till I got to my sophomore year in college. So I mean, outfield was a great transition for me, but I always knew that I could play the infield. So for the last year and a half, 2 years, I've been taking ground balls on a regular basis, off season, after practice, before practice, and just working on it to perfect that before I stepped in on the professional level with it, because I know guys have been getting their work in, you know, for years, and I needed to make sure I was settled, and I had some ground balls under my belt, thousands and thousands and thousands, tens of thousands. It's been great. Ross has been accepting of that, and it's definitely helped our team, that versatility, so he can adjust the lineup like he wants. Definitely helps. So it makes the job easier for manager who has, you know, more pieces he can reach.
Our final question for you, Rico. The Barnstormers, you guys are in first place right now in the Freedom Division. You guys have a lot of experienced guys on this team. Laston Smillich, Sean Alton, Caleb Gindel, just to name a few. The team seems pretty well balanced. So what are you seeing from this team in Lancaster, and just why do you believe this team could do something special in the Atlantic League this season?
Oh, definitely, man. Like you said, we have a great group of guys. The experience level, our lineup stack. We have a great pitching staff as well. So I mean, all that has come together to be pretty special. Obviously, we're winning, and I feel like still we have a lot of things to work out, a lot of things to get better at, and to be winning when you feel like that is great. You know? And as I say, the great teams win when they're not playing so well. So even when we're not playing so well, we still have a chance. And so you know, when everybody gets into rhythm and feeling where they want to be, which we have a lot of guys that are, but we're still getting there, you know. So we're gonna do some special things this year. I feel like everybody is here, staying here, but obviously the better you play, the more people will get out of here. So you never know where we'll be at. But taking it day by day, man, just going about our business the right way and being professional about our business and getting our work in, grinding it out, making adjustments. That's what we need to be focusing on.
Rico, thank you so much, and all the best to you this season.